Hey, fool, this ain't no football game.
Emma's a pimp!
Wait until the Reaper takes my life.
Lucky for you, you're all right where you need to be. So sit back, relax, and turn up the volume on your streaming device. Johnny Ballgame, Sir 𝐂𝐶𝐓, and the Fantasy Reaper are about to deliver humor and fantasy gold at the same time. Crush your opponent with a smile. It's Fantasy Sports Island.
Giggity, giggity, goo! Welcome to the island! Woo, spooky! Look over here, it's Jason Voorhees, Johnny Ballgame.
Can't kill me. You can't kill me.
You cannot kill Johnny Ballgame's predictions.
Nope.
They're still alive.
Nope. Tony can't hold it together right now, by the way.
It hurts.
So Poop's like, you're literally making him hurt right now.
And speaking of poop, Tony Snickers.
Hey guys, how's it going?
How you doing, Tony?
I can't look. It hurts. Sorry.
That was Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everyone. I'm the Fantasy Quagmire. Welcome to the show, Johnny Ballgame, Sir 𝐂𝐶𝐓. We do this every week, so you want to make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, comment.
We don't do that every week.
We don't do this every week.
Yeah, we don't Quagmire every week.
This is our Halloween special, just a little quick one here. So tonight, of course, the Fantasy Reaper is going to make an appearance because it is Halloween. All right, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna do a little fantasy nicknames for you because we haven't done that in a while. News and notes, waiver wire gems, and fantasy heroes and zeros. Sound good to you guys?
Yep.
Sounds great.
So it was a weird week in the NFL this week. A lot of injuries, a lot of weird stuff happened, but there are still some things going good for us and our fantasy predictions. Johnny Ballgame, Joe Burrow. I'm just going to call him Go Burrow. Just go, Joe. So Johnny predicted he would be the #1 quarterback, and after, I don't know, 4 weeks, we thought Johnny's full of crap. There's no way.
Johnny's crazy, yeah.
And Joe Burrow has put together 2 monster weeks, and he is now quarterback 2.
By just a few points, quarterback 2. Let's if I could just remind you, it's like 4 points in our league away from quarterback 1.
You're right on. But Josh Allen did have a bye, so let's keep it real.
All right, fine.
But you're doing excellent. It's a very real possibility that Joe Burrow, if he continues, will be the #1 quarterback. John scooped him up in every league you could get him. Congratulations.
Sure,
John also predicted this guy named Dameon Pierce would be a top 5 running back. And after 1 week, it looked like Dameon Pierce would be a bottom 5 running back. And here he comes. Dameon Pierce is now right outside the top 5.
It is right at 6.
Right there. Yeah.
Give him a week.
Yeah, this is why we called John Jason Voorhees, because you can't kill him. We're on Johnny Ballgame Part 12, the never-ending saga of Johnny Ballgame's predictions. Go with your gut, Johnny. Go with
your gut. Go with your gut.
Right. All right, so I have a couple nicknames I wanted to do. You guys can just give me your natural reaction. Let's start in Green Bay with Mr. Romeo Drops.
I like it.
How many balls did that guy drop?
Oh, God, that's not good.
I dropped him off all my rosters pretty much.
Hey-o.
Hey!
Hey-o.
How about getting to reuse this nickname from last year? Travis ATM! Because he's cashing in, baby!
So good.
Awesome.
So good.
All right, so we talked about Joe Burrow. How about his wide receiver, Jamar, chasing me into the end zone? This guy's scoring touchdowns like they're like free money. It's amazing.
Wow. Yeah.
How about in Atlanta? Drake only in London. Because he only scores when he plays in London.
That's hilarious. Actually, it's really funny.
How about out in New York? We got Elijah not getting traded anymore. Now that Corey Davis is hurt, they have nobody at receiver.
We better get Eli back in here. We love you, buddy.
Come on back, Elijah. Come on.
We got you. We got you.
We got you. Now that Christian McCaffrey's adios from Carolina, all of a sudden there's Dante Forefront. By the way, we told you to pick him up, did we not, John?
Sure did. Sure did.
How about in Seattle? Marquise, great win. Instead of
nice. Well played.
2 touchdowns, saving DK's bacon.
Nice.
I like it.
I really like that one.
How about in Indianapolis, though, John? Flat Ryan. Because he's finished.
Matt Fryan,
Flat Tire Ryan, whatever you want to call him. How about Kenny Skywalker out in Seattle?
Nice.
This guy's a freaking monster.
I like that one.
Speaking of Halloween.
That guy's amazing.
I got 2 more for the same guy. It's sad. How about Breece Hall Pass? Because he's been excused.
Aw. That one hurts a little bit.
And last one, Deceased Hall. Because he's dead for fantasy purposes.
Yes. Gosh, man.
Very disappointing.
Such a shame for that young man.
We're going to get to that in the news in just a minute. Happy Halloween, everyone. Let's move on. Let's do our news and notes. Are you guys ready?
Let's do this.
All right. We'll start with what happened after we aired our show last week. We were talking about all the possibilities of Christian McCaffrey, where he could be traded. And he did get traded to the San Francisco 49ers for a 2023 second, third, and fourth round pick and a 2024 fifth rounder. That is a lot of draft capital to give up for a guy that's injury prone like Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey played in limited snaps on Sunday in a losing effort to the Chiefs. All right, let's discuss this. Is this a good landing spot, John, in San Francisco for Christian McCaffrey for fantasy purposes?
If he stays healthy, yeah. I mean, it's a good fit because of the offense that they run. They'll throw to the backs. They like to do that sort of zone blocking that the Shanahans always do. He's a good cut and go guy. I really like this fit for him if he stays healthy.
All right, Tony, the usage was very low this week for Christian McCaffrey. He should get a full week of practice in so he can learn more of the playbook. Do we expect a full go 100% Christian McCaffrey playbook next week?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
And Debo's a little bit banged up, so on and so forth. Once he gets acclimated, he will be the Christian McCaffrey that we know and love.
Okay,
what I'm a little bit worried about, though?
Yeah.
So they gave up a boatload of draft picks to get Trey, the quarterback, and then it feels like they just gave up the rest of their draft for the next couple of years to get Christian. Like,
they had a lot, though.
They did. I guess they did, but man, it's like,
still,
what players are they going to be putting around them, because they don't have much draft pick now. They don't have much draft.
They better stay healthy.
Yeah.
So they're all in for this year. They're going for the chip.
Basically, that's it. Yeah. And
they're in a division where it's very possible they could still win this division. You know, they're 3-4, I believe, and the Rams are 3-3. I want to say, coming out of a bye.
Seattle's right there too.
Seattle's in first right now at 4-3. So it's a very winnable division. I don't know if really this is going to work out for San Francisco, though, because they've always had a good running game. It's never been their problem. They're dropping all this draft capital to get Christian McCaffrey in here. And sure, fantasy-wise, McCaffrey's going to be great, but is he really going to put them over the top?
Yeah. It's like they could plug in any running back in there, and they did well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a receiver named Debo. Yeah. I do think this hurts Debo.
Oh, it definitely hurts Debo. It looks good for Kittle so far, but it's only a small sample size in a game that Christian McCaffrey only played like 30% of the snaps. So I want to see what happens this week when he gets.
It was also
full
tight end day. Don't you think they were really trying to get Kittle the ball?
It was National Tight End Day.
This National Tight End Day. That's this made up holiday.
Yeah. What the hell? Who made that up? By the way,
I don't even know about
Hallmark did. They make up every holiday.
Yeah. Right.
They're evil. They're a syndicate.
On to the sad story of the week. New York Jets running back Breece Hall tore his ACL and actually also tore his meniscus. So it's a really bad injury. He's out for the season, obviously. Question mark whether he'll be back in time. This is like the Gus Edwards injury from last year. And Gus Edwards started the season, on unable to perform list for 6 weeks before he came out and played. So we could be looking at another situation like that. So it's very sad. In one league, I had Javonte Williams and Breece Hall. So, yeah, I'm in big trouble, but I still have Walker. So I'm hanging in there.
Thank God.
What do you guys think about the Breece Hall injury?
Meniscus the season goodbye.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Man, I feel bad for the Jets fans. Like, they finally had something to be excited about. How long has it been since they've been really excited about somebody?
Right.
And that guy was exciting, and he was living up to everything. Chuck, I mean, you were singing that guy's praises since he was drafted from day one. So I know this has got to be hard for you, and Hallmark's going to send you a card. They're going to make a National Breece Hall Day to go along with tight end day. So
my only saving grace is I wasn't able to get him in as many leagues as I wanted to get him. He got picked right before me in several leagues.
So you're kind of happy a little bit, basically.
Not happy. I mean, in our big money league, obviously I had him, and huge. It's a gut punch, man.
Oh, it is. Yeah,
it really is. All right. Seattle Seahawks wide receiver 𝐂𝐁𝐿 hurt his knee in the game, but doesn't require surgery. It sounds like a patellar tendon injury, according to head coach Pete Carroll. I don't trust Pete Carroll, but Pete Carroll says there's a chance he plays this week. I'm not buying it. I've had a patellar injury before. It's a pain in the ass. I think he's gonna be out a few weeks. What do we think, Tony?
That's what it sounds like, yeah. He's a big dude, big, strong dude, but that makes an injury like that a little bit more difficult. So I don't see him coming back, and I don't want him to because I have Marquise Goodwin on every team now. So it sucks for the Seahawks. I love DK, but I think it's going to be a couple weeks. Don't you guys? I mean, come on.
At least a couple weeks, I would think.
Yeah, doesn't this feel like one of those injuries where the player's going to try to tough it out for the year? He's going to take off for a couple of weeks, then he's going to try to play, and then he's going to do some major damage to it, and then be off for another couple of weeks. Like, I would want 0 shares of DK for the rest of this year, personally. I just don't feel like I feel like it's going to be one of those things.
I agree. It's a long-term injury. Now, you can play through it. I've done it, but you're not the same.
Ooh, look at me. I'm Chuck. I'm tough. I played through a patella.
I'm not tough, Johnny. That's why I sucked when I played. All right. What about Tyler Lockett? Is this Tyler Lockett time? Hot Lockett.
For at least 2 games a year, baby. That guy's gonna go off. He's gonna give me 2 big ones.
We'll see what he can do while he's out.
I really like Marquise Goodwin better. Actually, I think
Marquise Goodwin is a former track star, so he's super fast. He can blow the lid off.
But he's also a pretty good possession receiver, though.
Right,
yeah.
But he's never stayed healthy, so we'll see if he can stay healthy.
Yeah.
Speaking of unhealthy receivers, LA Chargers wide receiver Mike Williams suffered a high ankle sprain. They have a bye in week 8. They say it's a couple weeks. Stop lying. A high ankle sprain is 4 to 6 weeks. We all know this.
Minimum.
Every time.
Minimum.
Every time it is.
Yes.
It's going to be out for a while.
It's all horse shit.
Yeah. So what do we think for the Chargers? I already was worried about Justin Herbert. Now he loses Mike Williams. Keenan Allen doesn't seem right. He's not all the way back from his injury.
What, 2 catches or something like that?
Yeah, he only played the first half.
Yeah. Yeah.
He also says he didn't have a setback, but he didn't play the entire second half. So that's a little confusing, my man.
I didn't have a setback. I just didn't play.
Yeah. I chose to sit out on the bench.
Yeah, right.
If I was everybody, I'd get me some shares of Josh Palmer because people are going to be dropping that guy this week because it's a bye week. And so this little Johnny Ballgame tip for you, look for Josh Palmer because these injuries are going to pile up. Josh Palmer didn't do great when what's-his-face was out. But with Mike Williams out, I think he becomes more the possession guy, and I think that's actually a good spot for him. So that's just a little Johnny ball game tip.
Did I just hear some thunder? Because Johnny just stole mine. That's the guy I picked up on the waiver wire this week, buddy.
Oh, sorry, man.
No, it's okay.
Oh, well, there you go then. Nice pickup.
Great minds think alike, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Detroit Lions wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown injured his head. It appeared to be in the game. Reportedly went to the tent. They determined he didn't have a concussion, but he remains in concussion protocol because the league has new rules for this. He showed instability on the field, according to doctors, and therefore he automatically is ruled out of the game, despite whether he has concussion or not. Are we being stupid here, John? Are we overreacting to the concussion that happened to Tua here?
I don't know, man. Like, here's the thing. If you get hit hard enough to stumble getting up out of it, and like it makes you wobbly, you probably shouldn't play. Like, I also, like Chuck, played through a concussion, and I will tell you, it's a really bad idea because I got hit over and over again after that, and I just kept getting woozier and woozier throughout the day. That was back in the day when, you know, they just rubbed dirt on your head and said, get back in the ball game. But I actually like that they're taking concussion seriously. So
yeah. Is that why your eyes are always cross-eyed, John?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, it sure does. Yeah.
It does give you magical powers, though.
What'd you say, Bob?
Yeah, exactly. All right. By the way, Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to play this week, most likely. So
better. Damn.
And I'm going to throw him back in the lineup again, even though he only got me 1.4 points this week. That's all right.
Oh, good.
Going back to the well.
Josh Reynolds won't get anything. So.
Yeah, that's true. All right. The Indianapolis Colts have decided to not only bench Matt Ryan, but he's not even the backup, folks. He's being just completely thrown away. They're going with Sam Ehlinger, and the backup is going to be Nick Foles for the rest of the season. They don't care if Matt Ryan's healthy or not. He's done. He is done in Indianapolis. So I ask you guys, first of all, what does this do to the receiving core in Indianapolis for fantasy purposes?
Scares me. I mean, there's some momentum with some guys there, right? Like, I don't know what's going to happen. Now we got to give it a couple weeks. Let those guys, get used to the new quarterback. Makes me nervous, like Pittman and stuff. But those guys are natural, so I don't know. Maybe they'll be all right. But
the problem is Sam Ehlinger is a guy that runs a lot, and he. I think they're gonna concentrate on the running game. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I was gonna say Paris Campbell has strangely looked really good over the last couple of weeks. And he looked okay when Ryan went out with the shoulder. So I don't know. Sometimes those sort of second-tier receivers do pretty good with a second-tier quarterback. And so you might see some of that coming in there. I don't like Pittman right now. I'm a little worried about him. Well, who I like better now is I like a little Mo Alley-Cox, because you know that a tight end is a young quarterback's best friend. So
security blanket.
Yeah, I consider me some Mo. I'd get Mo Cox.
I bet you would.
Wait, what?
All right. Do we think Matt Ryan's career is over, or do we think he's going to get traded? What do we think is going to happen?
I'm going to tease this. I'll let you know here in a little while when we do a different segment.
Oh, okie dokie. All right, John. The Cleveland Browns tight end David Njoku is considered week to week after he was diagnosed with a high ankle sprain. Again, stop the madness. He's out 6 weeks, guys. He's going to be out for a while. John, I know that's a crusher because you actually made the right call. I gave you shit for dropping Hawkinson weeks ago, and you picked up Njoku, and you said you like him better going forward. Now, the first week, Hawkinson dropped 50, and we were all making fun of you.
Yep.
But since then, he hasn't done shit, and your boy Njoku has been really, really good. So I know this is a crusher for you.
First, I have him in 3 of my 4 leagues. 3 of my 4 leagues, I have Njoku. So, I'm stuck with the likes of Juwan Johnson now because there wasn't shit for tight end on the waiver wire. So, and I've got Bobby Tonyan, but he's had 1 good week.
Yeah.
1.
I'm going to tease something for you, Johnny. You guys stick around, Johnny, you especially, because I have some waiver wire gems at tight end for you.
Oh, nice.
That are better than, I think, the guy you picked up.
Was one of them the guy I mentioned just before that?
No.
Oh, because I like him a lot. No.
All right. Denver Broncos running back Mike Boone was diagnosed with a high ankle sprain.
Starting to see a trend.
So that is expected to sideline him for a few weeks. Again, 6 weeks. So Mike Boone's out of the picture. So now do we go back to Melvin Gordon again and Latavius Murray? Is that it?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Because
Kinda feels like it.
Guess what? The Broncos went out and signed Marlon Mack.
Return of the Mac.
It's like the epitome of what the Broncos do with this running game. Oh, we don't have enough scrubs in the backfield. Let's get one more.
Let's get one. It is now the single oldest backfield in the history of backfields.
What a mess over there.
So we got Latavius, we got the Rooster, and now we just added what's his face. Nice. Let's get the
return back.
What? Where's the ball? Who's handing off to who?
I bet you Duke Johnson is at home on the treadmill right now warming up.
You know what Duke Johnson is saying? What the fuck?
I know. He probably is.
I was good last year. Why aren't you guys calling me?
Bitches?
Yeah, you punk-ass bitches. All right. The New England Patriots are going to stick with Mac Jones as a starting quarterback, despite the fact that they pulled Mac Jones after the first quarter last game and brought in Zappy. And, Zappy, it was Zappy hour for like an hour, and then it wasn't. And the Patriots went, oh, shit, maybe he's really not the next coming of Tom Brady. And so they're going back to Mac Jones. Tony, what do we think?
I think it's necessary. I don't know what's going to happen with those guys. It's another kind of mess, and it's funny, but I think they should have left. I don't even know why they took Mac out. But I think he's the clear number one right now. Come on, he missed a couple games, and Zappy, the fans went crazy, and it's like there was a dude sitting out there barbecuing and smoking a cigar, and he was so wide open. That first touchdown, it wasn't anything too unique.
It was a terrible throw, actually.
Yeah, the defender fell down.
Yes.
And the fans went crazy. And I'm like, I probably, there was a chance I may have been able to complete that pass. But it's Mac. It's Mac's team.
Yeah. Here's my thing. I wouldn't have played Mac. He's obviously still a little hampered, right? I mean, he wasn't right. He was moving okay, but he wasn't right. Zappy was coming off of a couple of good games. Let Mac get fully healthy, because you have to know that if you've got an injured quarterback coming back in and you've got a little bit of a folk hero guy who's already kind of getting some momentum around him, that if Mac comes and doesn't look anything like Mac could look, that they're already going to start calling for Zappy again. I think they put Mac in a horrible position by playing him when he wasn't quite ready. That's my opinion.
Amen, Johnny. I'm with you all the way. They blew that. I mean,
yeah.
Bill
Belichick for being a genius.
He looks like an idiot now. I mean, you finally get Mac back. You don't even give him a chance to get his sea legs back, and you pull him, and then you go, oh shit, maybe you know what? I'm going back to Mac Jones. That is not fair to Mac Jones.
Well, we'll see.
I mean, and he's your first round pick, guys.
We'll see about this.
Zappy's
we'll see how they do.
Yeah.
Zappy's a real good quarterback. Mac's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
We'll see how they do.
On next week.
On to next week. One of those guys will definitely be the starter.
Yeah.
For sure. One of them will.
Bella Dick. All right. Andy Dalton is starting this week for the Saints over Jameis Winston, even though Jameis Winston is back to 100% health. They're going with Andy Dalton. What do we think? I like this for Olave, Johnny. I love this for Olave.
I do too, because he's really thrown to Olave a lot. And I got him in one league, and I really dig. I don't get it though. If Jameson's healthy, he's got the more talented arm. What you're basically saying is we don't think Jameson is our quarterback of the future. That's what you're saying. He's not our quarterback.
Exactly. He's done.
Yeah, he's done.
It's over.
Leaving in the dead rocket.
Jeez.
Wow.
That went dark, Tony. Are you okay?
Waiver wire gems.
All right. How about some waiver wire gyms, Johnny?
Let's do it.
We teased this a little bit, so here it comes.
All
All right. I got some guys. You tell me what you think.
You got some guys. I got a guy.
I got a freaking guy. All right. First guy. He's a Jag. Literally, he's on the Jags.
Oh.
Running back, 𝐀𝐁𝐿 Hasty, because James Robinson was traded to the Jets. Okay, so he's out of the picture now. By the way, James Robinson got 0 touches last game. So they didn't even want to showcase him for a trade. They just wanted to make sure he was healthy and get him the fuck out of Dodge. Anyway, so 𝐀𝐁𝐿 Hasty is now the backup to Travis Etienne. Etienne has a injury history. Also, Etienne is not a guy that's going to get 20, 25 carries a game. There's going to be some room for 𝐀𝐁𝐿 Hasty. What do we think? Would you pick him up?
So I've got 2 of my 4 leagues. I've got shares of ATM, so I am considering picking up Hasty just to back him up. Like if I, but I mean, do I think he's going to get a lot of points? I mean, do you remember all the times when 𝐀𝐁𝐿 Hasty's gone off and really won leagues? Oh wait, that's right, never. So I don't know. Like he's been around for a long time. He's never quite gained enough traction to. But I think you could get some usage out of him. And with the injuries today, hell, who knows, man? You might just pick him up.
Handcuffer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a handcuffer, all right.
If you're in a deep league and you're looking for running back health, I could stash him.
Yeah.
Elijah Moore, New York Jets wide receiver. Last week,
him up.
Everyone probably cut him. The smart play now is to pick him up. Breece Hall went down with an injury.
I just picked him up in our big money league. I need receivers, man. I picked that bastard up.
They lost Corey Davis.
Yep.
So what's left? They have Wilson on one side, and they're going to have Elijah Moore. So I think that the key is Breece Hall going down to injury. They have to find another way to throw the ball down the field. Yeah. And I think it's going to be Elijah Moore. He's a very talented receiver. He threw his little bitch fit. It's over. They've said, "Now come on back. Let's get you going." I think he's going to make a late season like splash here.
I do too. That's what I'm voting for anyway.
Check your waiver wire just to make sure, because a lot of people cut him last week. I almost did, and then I saw what I saw last week, and I went, "Well, shit. Better hold on to him now."
Hey-o.
All right. What do we think about Michael Carter at running back? Now that Breece is out.
He's not bad. I mean, he's not a Breece Hall, but
problem is they brought in James Robinson.
That's my confusion. Like you already had Michael Carter and you had Ty Johnson, and you brought in and you traded for Michael Robinson.
Something there we don't know.
Yeah.
This guy's never really been given a shot.
I don't know, man. It's weird. It's really weird.
I guess if you have the space, it wouldn't hurt to grab him. I mean, he sounds like he's the number 1 as of now.
Right.
What's going to happen next week or two?
Yeah, I think this is a timeshare. I think Michael Carter will lead the timeshare, but it's still a timeshare. I would temper your expectations. For all of you that had Michael Carter, when you saw Breece go down, you probably thought, "Oh, I have an RB1 now." No, you don't. You probably have an RB3. Especially now that they bring James Robinson in, but they don't view Michael Carter as an every down back.
No,
but he does catch balls. So in the committee, I think he's the more valuable running back.
He does catch balls. Sorry.
Gus Edwards. It's probably too late if you didn't pick up Gus Edwards last week. And I told you guys to pick up Gus Edwards. Did I not, John?
Yep.
I did. Gus Edwards came out. He was the starter. I didn't know he was just going to get almost all the carries, but he looked really good. Yeah. If he's still out there on waiver wire, throw like half your budget at Gus Edwards. Go get him.
For sure. I'm totally with you.
Because Kenyon Drake, we hate the Drake. And
he
looked like the Kenyon Drake of old. Like he'll show up for 1 week and then he's gone, disappears for 3-4 weeks. All right, Carolina running back Dante Foreman. What do we think, John?
I like him. I like Chuba a little bit better. Now, Chuba tweaked his ankle. I think Chuba's younger, and they're going to want to see what they have for him. Dante's been sort of a backup his whole career. He's had some flashes, but he's never really maintained that for a long time. And he had the opportunity in Houston and never took it. And so I like Chuba a little bit better, but I do think that Deontay is worth rostering for sure.
Tony, you want to hear something hilarious though? Carolina is 1 game out of first in that division.
It's insane.
They could win the division. That's how bad this division is.
Unbelievable.
They stomped Tampa Bay last week. I can see them trying to see if they could like do exactly what they did: pound you on the ground with Dante Foreman, use Chuba out of the backfield for some passes. Sure. This could work. I like Foreman. He was good last year when Henry went out.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
he was really good. So
maybe he's matured and he'll be a little stronger now.
Yeah, he's like 3 years removed now from his Achilles injury, and he looks good. I like him. He's explosive. All right, we talked about this a little bit, but let's delve into Marquise Goodwin. He came in when DK got hurt, and he scored 2 touchdowns. And he looked good. He's fast. He's explosive. How much of your budget would you put on to Marquise Goodwin? Is this somebody you're just throwing maybe 5 to 10% of your budget, or are you going like 40, 50%?
I'd still go kind of low. I mean, I like him. He looked good, but the jury's out. And like you said, he's got a history of injuries. So I don't know if I'd spend a lot on him.
I wouldn't spend a ton on him. I'd maybe 15%, like right in that area. I wouldn't go above 20, even if I was really, because you don't know if they're going to go to Lockett. You don't know if they're going to go to Will Dissly now. I mean, you don't know what they're going to do. And then they like to run a lot, and they can run a lot. So they might not throw much of anything. So, yeah, I'd be careful.
Here's the other guy we teased, Johnny, Josh Palmer, Chargers wide receiver. He's on a bye right now. People kind of forgetting about him. Now is a good time to go get him because next week we already know Mike Williams isn't going to be playing, and he'll slide right into that role. It's the the Z receiver role, catch a lot of balls in that offense. We already talked about Keenan Allen not being right. He could be really good for this offense.
Yeah,
So,
I like him a lot.
I like him a lot too, and you can get him on the cheap right now. So go get him.
Yep.
Khalil Shakir. This is one of my speculative picks. I'm not big on Isaiah McKenzie. He drops a lot of balls, comes up small in big moments. Josh Allen seemed to like kind of go to Khalil a little bit more last game. Khalil looked like the more explosive playmaker on that team. If he's the slot receiver on this team, that's a very valuable piece to have. And I don't think you have to pay up to get him.
No, you're not going to have to.
Also coming off a bye, so people have kind of forgot about him. So go see if Shakir's on the waiver wire.
Yeah. All
right, John, I got 2 tight ends for you. I think these are both better plays than what you've got. So your boy Njoku went down. Why are you not looking at his backup, Harrison Bryant, who's very talented?
That's a good point.
He'll slide right into that role. He's very athletic. He's a big guy, big target. I could see him doing at least close to what – he's not quite as athletic, but I could see him doing almost as much as Njoku.
I like
he had some big games with Baker, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a few last year. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually played him one week, and he did really well for me. So keep an eye on Harrison Bryant. Go out and get him if you can. And one more, John. Greg Dulcich.
Never heard of him.
Denver. So Greg Dulcich is a rookie. He exploded onto the scene 2 weeks ago. Did we mention him a couple weeks ago? I don't think we did.
I don't think we did. No.
So he caught a long touchdown from Russ Wilson. Last week he caught 6 for 60-something yards. So he's very incorporated into their offense. Russell Wilson's supposed to be back again this week. This guy was really good in college. So keep an eye on Greg Dulcich. That's another guy you could go out and get on the waiver wire for cheap.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Are there any other guys that you want to throw out for the waiver wire gems before we move on?
There's got to be a few, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I can't think of any. Yeah, I can't think of any right now.
We gave him some good nuggets here.
I mean, actually, Paris Campbell's on most waiver wires. And I will tell you. The problem with
Paris Campbell, though, is now we have Sam Ehlinger. I don't know who he's going to throw to.
You don't, but I'm saying if you're looking for some speculative picks who've actually started to gain momentum, Paris Campbell's a guy you got to look at. And then Wan'Dale Robinson, he's 2 games in. I think we mentioned him last week. He's still on. He's actually still on some waiver wires.
That's crazy.
If he is, which is nuts. Yeah. So I like those guys. And actually, a couple of Giants receivers are starting to show suddenly. Like Daniel Jones,
Slayton.
by the way.
Slayton, yeah.
Slayton looks good. Richie James is probably still their leading receiver at this point. So, I mean, you've got some options there on the Giants. And if the Giants are going to keep throwing, because Saquon's opening it up out there because he's running so well. So
I got one more. I just thought of them. The Rams are coming off a bye. They're getting Van Jefferson back. They need a deep ball threat. Van Jefferson is a good pickup in a deep league.
Yeah.
If you're hurting at wide receiver.
Yep.
All right, good.
I dig.
Fantasy heroes and zeros.
All right, we need to do our fantasy heroes and fantasy zeros. We'll start with the fantasy heroes. It's a short list this week. I'm going to keep it short and simple. These are the guys that went off. We'll throw in some zeros as well. Fantasy hero number 1, Joe Burrow. 34 of 42. Wow. 481. Wow. 3 touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. Just a monster game. In our league, he got John 95 points.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So Joe Burrow.
That might be the second most I've ever gotten from a player.
Yeah, and last year you got the number 1 amount, and that was Lamar Jackson. Yeah. I think Joe Burrow is like, it looks like it did at the end of last year now. Like this might be a reoccurring event, like where he's constantly getting 300 plus yards and 3 touchdowns like every week.
He's the only one with 3 receivers over 400 yards or something like that. Like,
yeah. And Tony was watching this last week. He almost got 3 different receivers all over 100 yards. That is ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. I don't know if that's ever happened.
It has happened. It happened with Peyton Manning in his big year, but that's the last time it happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
The difference really is that offensive line is starting to click. They're starting they're grooving when you watch them. They're doing the same thing now. The first couple of weeks, they were like all over the place.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
That helps a lot. Joe's got a lot more time to throw it down the field to Jamar Chase and
for sure
Higgins and everyone. Jeez.
Yeah.
All right. Patrick Mahomes, 25 of 34, 423, 3 touchdowns and a pick. Another great game for Mahomes. Man, I wish I would have taken him instead of Herbert. Boy, I regret that every time. But Mahomes, it doesn't matter. He loses Tyreek Hill, he throws it to other people. One of them being Mecole Hardman.
Yeah, look at that guy.
Yeah, he got him off 2 touchdowns, right?
Yeah, man. I mean,
still not convinced, John.
No, I mean, I picked him up in the league, but I actually just dropped him too. So, because I dropped him for Elijah Moore.
There you
he's
go.
not
I think that's
putting up Tyreek Hill numbers, but
no,
he's just so inconsistent. He's so inconsistent. I can't do it.
I mean, all the wide receivers in Kansas City are going to be inconsistent because Patrick Mahomes just spreads it out. Unless your name is Travis Kelce,
right?
Yeah. Do you remember at the beginning of the year when we were all like, "Oh, you better get running backs. Receivers are so deep. Receivers are so deep." They're not. Like they're just not that deep. No,
you're right.
No, it's rough out there.
Austin Eckler, motherfucker. 9 carries, 31 yards, a touchdown on the ground. 12 catches for 96 yards and a touchdown in the air. Mr. Eckler has climbed all the way from an RB2 to the number 1 running back in fantasy football. I got shit all over my face. I know, man.
He's actually Austin Heckler now because he's heckling you.
Yes, he is. He is haunting my fantasy nightmares. This guy, you are amazing, Eckler. You are truly awesome excellence. You really are.
You're a big man, Chuck. Big man.
Hey,
you are.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
You know what? You got to shoot your shot, and sometimes you miss. And I missed bad on Eckler. Bad.
Yeah.
Travis Etienne, 14 carries for 114 and a touchdown. This is all part of Johnny's comeback attempt here. He's got Burrow. He's got Travis Etienne. Looking good, Johnny. Looking good.
Thanks, buddy.
And now
remember when I was last in our league for a couple of weeks, and now I'm back. I'm in the middle of the pack now.
Yeah, you'll be up there because they traded James Robinson, which tells me they're ready to unleash the ATM.
Yeah.
It's
They're getting ready to empty the ATM.
Empty the cash machine, baby.
That's
All right, Derrick Henry doing Derrick Henry things. 30 carries for 128, 3 receptions, and 10 yards receiving. He didn't even score a touchdown, but just the mass amount of carries, yards, even a couple catches, he has a monster week.
Yeah.
Awful. He's awful.
Yeah, he's
I don't think a guy that big and that runs that hard and he's taking 30 carries like it's nothing. It's still
and that fast. And that fast. He's a freak.
Yeah.
He's a freak, that guy.
Yeah, he is.
Bona fide. Yeah.
Speaking of freaks, how about Kenny Skywalker, 23 carries,
Skinny Skywalker,
168, 2 touchdowns, including a game-breaking 74-yard touchdown to put the game out of reach. This freaking guy, Tony, you have Walker.
Yeah, I got him in a couple leagues. I was so excited, and then one of my head-to-head leagues, I had Freiermuth left, which wasn't bad, and I was up by a good amount. But he had Skywalker. So when that 74-yarder came through, I was like screaming and crying at the same time. But he got within 3 points of me because of that guy, and I was so far ahead.
Wow.
He looks awesome, dude. There's some. If Brees was healthy right now, would this not be one of the best classes you've ever seen in a long time? And when you're talking about
Damian Pierce, Brees Hall, Kenny Skywalker.
Yep.
I mean, and then you got to throw in Olave, who's like number 3 or 4 receiver right now, and
Dodson, and Wilson out in New York's had a couple big games. Yeah, man, it's good rookie class.
Algiers isn't that bad. However you say his name, he's not bad.
Jameson Williams is coming. Williams,
true.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Josh Jacobs. This guy's a freaking league winner.
Stud.
If you got Josh Jacobs in the 6th round, you're smiling. 20 carries, 143, 3 touchdowns, added 3 catches for 12 yards. Josh Jacobs is
a
now
gamer.
RB4.
Yep.
Wow.
This guy's a
Gotta
gamer.
be kidding me. He is a game on a contract year, so they're just gonna let him. They're gonna give him the rock, man. Wear him out. They don't care. He's not coming back next year.
They don't care.
They don't care.
They don't care.
So speaking of that, if they do run him into the ground, you got to have Zamir White on your radar, on that waiver wire. If he's available and you have room, maybe add him. Speculative ad.
Yeah.
Especially in like dynasty leagues, like now you got to start thinking about this, right? You start preparing for next year, halfway through this year, and that's a guy you want to start really thinking about.
Yeah, and if you could trade it on the cheap right now to get him in dynasty, I would do that.
Yes.
I would do that
Because he's a cheap pick.
All right, Aaron Jones didn't do much on the ground. 8 carries for 23 yards, and the Packers sucked in this game, but
Awful.
He had 9 catches for 53 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was the offense. They phased Dillon out completely. Does this continue, John?
Yeah, I think it does. Right. Well, till toward the end of the season. And that's when A.J. Dillon time comes, right? When it starts to get colder, they start to want to grind it out a little bit more. They'll go to A.J. Dillon. But Aaron Jones is the guy this year that we thought he was going to be last year.
Yeah. I was just going to say that. Could have used this last year.
No.
Yeah, we could have. All right. DeAndre Hopkins makes his return. 10 catches for 103 yards. I mean, it's like he never left.
Look good.
I regret not picking DeAndre Hopkins. You could have got him late in most drafts. I just completely wrote him off, and I was wrong.
He could have actually had a bigger day, too. Kyler missed him on a couple passes where he wasn't. He's maybe just not acclimated again to the offense, but a couple passes they missed on. But that guy could have had at least 150 yards. That's all I'm saying.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right. Jamar Chase, 8 catches, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Dig it.
He's doing it every week now.
You
had a chance to trade for him, trading low for him a couple weeks ago. That window is gone now. Like he's looks like the number 1 wide receiver at the moment.
Yeah.
All right, and last fantasy hero is for Tony. Juju Smith-Schuster, faking you out again. This time he goes for 7 for 124 and a long touchdown. Every 6 weeks he blows up like this. He's in that Mahomes-led offense where you never know which receiver is going to do it each week. But you know what? You'll take it, Tony.
Hell yeah, I will. Yeah, it still makes me a little nervous, man. It does. I'm not going to lie. But when you add up his games, I mean, he's had – what week are we? Was that 7? So he's had 4 nice games. So I'll take it. It's hopeful.
Yeah. He's
All right.
number 15 receiver in our league.
Yeah, that's very, very, very good. He's a wide receiver too. It's exactly where you drafted him to be your wide receiver too. So it's paid off.
Yeah.
Good pick. All right, we got to talk about the fantasy zeros. I only have 6 of them. Run through them real quick. First one, not really his fault, but 1 catch for 4 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Then he goes into the concussion protocol and he never gets to come back. So he kind of screwed a lot of people that had Amon, including me. What are you going to do though, right? Rules are the rules.
Yep.
𝐂𝐁𝐿, 1 catch for 12 yards. He was not having a good game. Got injured later in the game. And obviously now he has a patellar injury. Might be out a few weeks. But, didn't have a good game. So he's a 0.
That's right. He was a 0 before he got hurt.
Yeah, exactly. Leonard Fournette.
Yeesh.
8 carries for 19 yards. 2 receptions for 7 yards. Came up real small. I don't know if you guys know this, but Leonard Fournette is averaging like less than 3 yards a carry this year.
I've been saying this for the last couple of weeks. I don't get it. Where's Rachaad White?
Go get Rachaad White. That's another waiver wire gem.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because especially if they keep playing the way they're playing, they're going to move on from Leonard Fournette.
Billion %.
It's not working.
Yes.
All right. Literal fantasy zeros. 3 of them. Corey Davis, Michael Gallup, Romeo Doubs. All freaking zeros in when someone gives me a 0, I usually trade them or get rid of them. I get them off my roster.
I dumped Dobbs. He
I
gave me a 0. He's gone. I'm out. I have no use for that guy.
You can't.
4
You can't
weeks
deal
ago, I
with
was
guys.
excited about that kid.
Yeah.
Literally was excited about him. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I remember about 3 years ago, when Brady first got to the Bucs, Mike Evans had a 0 in week 1, and everyone was freaking out. That's one of the few guys you don't drop when you give you a 0. He came back, and
especially after week 1. Yeah.
Week 1. He got 3 touchdowns next week. But other guys like on the fringe, like Dobbs and Corey Davis and Michael Gallup, you can just dump these guys because they're very capable of doing it again, giving you a 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drake London, we talked about him already. He only does it in London, apparently, because in the States he gets 1 catch for 9 yards. It's also Kyle Pitts. It's the same problem. They just don't throw enough there in Atlanta. They're getting their asses handed to them by the Bengals, and they're still running the ball.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Yes. It's like, oh, good. Marcus Mariota. RPO. Nice job.
So I have a question for you guys. So they go out in the first round, they get Kyle Pitts 2 years ago. And then last year they go out in the first round and they go get, Drake London. Why? If you're not going to use them and you're not going to have an offense built around them, why did you do that? Why didn't you use your first round capital on running backs or offensive linemen or defensive players that will help you in this scheme? I don't understand it. They're wasting these guys' talents.
Yeah, and I think at some point, and it might be after the bye week, I think they got to go look at Ritter, right? Because it's not like Mariota's tearing it. I mean, he was a kind of a cool story because he gets to start again, and it's been a while since he's been a starter. But he's not tearing it up. It's not making everybody go, oh, he's the next, he's back. He's like Lamar Jackson Jr. Like he just is a game manager that can also kind of run, but he doesn't throw that great. And all of the receivers are suffering. So I'd get the rookie in there. See what you got.
All the Pitts, man. Ugh.
Yeah. Think about that. Ritter, Pitts, and London can all be working together to grow. I mean, that could be a trio. And then you get Algiers in there. You might literally have your core for years to come if you just start now. Like, why not?
I think the 3 biggest disappointments in fantasy football are Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and Najee Harris. These guys, and you could throw Allen Robinson in there too, but you didn't have to spend the draft capital on Allen Robinson that you did to get, Najee Harris and Kyle Pitts. I mean, they've got to be the 2 biggest.
Yeah, I don't know that Drake London's in my top disappointments, but he's certainly a disappointment.
Yeah. Last 0 just for this week. Mark Andrews didn't catch a pass. He got 1 carry for 4 yards.
That was
in our
weird.
league. He got us 0.7, and most leagues he gets you 0.4. What are we doing? I mean, yeah, Gus Edwards looked good, but can we throw the ball to your best player?
Yeah, feels like a good idea.
What are we doing?
These coaches, man, they just try to outsmart themselves.
They do. They do.
Get
John,
yes,
do
sir.
you hear? I think it's the Fantasy Reaper. I think it's coming.
Do you pity the fool?
I pity the fool. Tony, you might want to hide the women and children.
It's about to get bad. It's about to go down.
The Fantasy Reaper.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. All right, as you can see, it is time for a fella that sounds like Mr. T, but carries and acts like Paul Bunyan. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Fantasy Reaper. The Reaper. Fantasy
For the
Reaper.
kids, Johnny. I do it for the kids.
You definitely do it for the kids, Reap. Hey, Reaper, I think you've got something on your mind this time. Like Tony and I are going to throw out some folks, but I believe you want to start with one. Who you got?
Johnny, let me ask you a question. Do you like Sam Ehlinger?
Two.
Let me tell you something. Sam Ehlinger has never thrown a football in the NFL. So the Colts are 3-3-1. One game out of first place in their division. And they have already decided that they have a better chance to win at quarterback, who has never thrown a ball in the NFL, in Sam Ehlinger over Matt Ryan. Ehlinger in, Ryan out. So I want to ask you something. Matt Ryan has been in the league 15 years. He's got an MVP. He's been in the Super Bowl. And is he really been that bad that we have to move on? And not only is he not the backup, he's going to be inactive on this team. Is he really that bad, folks? Are we ready? He must be done. It's time to put Matty Ice on ice, because the Reaper is going to kill you from the NFL. Your time in fantasy football is over, Matty Ice. What do you guys think?
Oh, I think you're absolutely right. I think you're right. I mean, they are picking a guy who's never thrown a pass in the NFL. They're picking him over a guy who's been in the Super Bowl and an MVP in the league. Plus, they're picking him over the second string guy now, who's just moved up to second string, who's won a Super Bowl. So, I mean, they're taking a giant chance. It feels like they're just giving up on the entire season, which is crazy because they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. So
the problem is, I think the Colts are looking at the tape and they're seeing the turnovers, the fumbles, the interceptions, the carelessness with the ball. Something Matt Ryan in his career has been pretty good about, but this year has been awfully bad. And I don't know, now that we look back on it, John, was Carson Wentz really that bad? Because I had to kill him too, Johnny.
Well, I mean, he's not doing great in Washington either. So
You have to kill him again.
maybe you might have to kill him again later in the segment. All right. Thanks, Reaper. I appreciate that one. I think Tony's got one that he's been thinking about, and it might be bigger than just one person.
Yeah, well, let me ask you this, Reaper. Are you confident that you can take on more than one kill at a time, like a large group?
John, you know what, Tony? If you pay me double, I'll get it done.
Oh, that's not going to be a problem.
Just double. Wow. It's actually cheap.
Triple. I'll pay you triple to destroy an entire defense down in Tampa Bay. Please.
Reaper, what say you about the Tampa Bay defense?
I mean, have you not been watching, Tony? I already took care of that. They're missing half their defense this week for Thursday Night Football, so enjoy.
Nice.
Thanks.
Oh, God.
The corpse of the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Awful.
Hey, since we're on Tampa Bay, Reap, I got somebody for you. There's this fella down there. I don't know if you've heard of him. He kind of goes under the radar a lot. Just gets by. Nobody really knows much about him. He's the quarterback down there, Tom Brady. Have you heard of this fella? What do you think about him, Reaper? Are we ready to axe him? You better axe somebody.
I'll tell you what, I would like nothing better than to take Tom Brady down with me. But I'm afraid, John. I've never been afraid to take someone down. I'm afraid to say it and take Tom Brady down. I'll end up his bitch down in hell.
Do it.
Kind of like the devil was to Saddam Hussein in that movie. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
That'll be me with Tom Brady when he comes back next year and drops 40 touchdowns. So I think I'm gonna back off of this one. I'm gonna say no. Reaper,
you don't have a hair on your ass if you don't take Tom Brady down with you. That's what I'm telling you right now.
So you're saying this is it? This is his
This
last
is it.
season?
Go on. Good night now. Thanks for coming. Tip your waiters and waitresses.
I don't know, Johnny. I feel like he's going to make a late season run and put up some numbers.
Come on, man.
They're in a weak division, John. They're going to win the division still. They still have, Mike Evans and Godwin, and they still have the corpse of Julio Bones, who might play this week. So I think Tom Brady can get this done. I really do.
Whatever.
Disappointing.
Fine, Reaper. All right, could we at least do golf? Can we get rid of him?
I thought I already took care of that 2 years ago.
I thought so too. That dude's still playing.
Yeah, Jared Goff is, he's just a placeholder until they find a better quarterback in Detroit. And they're 1-4, and it's mostly because of him. So I think once they find someone to replace him, he'll be gone. He'll be gone.
Reap's taking him out.
I already took out Rex Burkhead for you, John. What more do you want?
Thank you. I appreciate that, actually.
You're welcome.
What about Thursday night football games? Could we just take those?
Thursday night football games suck balls, Tony. They're the worst games. Every single week we think, maybe this will be a good game. No, it's horrible. It's always horrible. Why do we put the Denver Broncos and the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cleveland Browns on Thursday night football? Send them to London, damn it. Keep the Thursday night games for the top. I want to see the Chiefs and Bills on Thursday night. All right? I want to see the Rams and Niners on Thursday night. Where are those games? I don't understand it, Johnny.
I don't either, man. I'd axe them. Let's just take them out.
I'll axe them for you.
Nice. All right. So, Poops a lot. You got any more you want to talk about the Reap? You got any more you want to?
Well, I'm just going to, I know we already discussed him and he's just a rookie, but the whole Romeo Dobbs thing is killing me. He's a rookie, so just do it real quick. Will you just axe the kid? Just get it over with?
He's too young. I don't want to take a youngster like him, but I'll tell you who I will take out for you. Aaron Rodgers.
You won't take Brady, but you'll take Rodgers?
I'll take Rodgers because he's a dick. I don't like Aaron Rodgers and his porn stash and his ayahuasca and his stupid girlfriend. I don't remember her name. You can all go to hell.
Wow. Reap's taking Rodgers.
I traded him last year, and I was really done with him, John. I don't want to talk about Aaron Rodgers anymore.
All right, so you axed.
You go to hell.
You can go to hell. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring Chuck back in to finish the show. But man, Reaper, it was always good to see the Reap come back, give us some pity to fool Mr. T wisdom, and take some folks out with him.
I don't know why my throat always hurts when we finish this segment.
Yeah, it's weird, huh? Oh.
All right, guys. We thank you for watching Fantasy Sports Island. It's been another great show. We do this every week. So, John, what should they do? Bing! Bing! And Tony, what else should they do?
Subscribe, please. That's all I'm asking. Leave some comments.
And I just want you to hit that little like button. Just hit that little,
you can hit a like too.
Button.
You know what would be cool?
I lost my hand, so I can't do like buttons right now.
Tony's giving you guys a hand right now. If you also leave some comments, man. Tell us what you want. We're looking for segments all the time. We're just three guys.
Yeah,
we're just three.
I'll even just go like purple sack, stuff like that. Whatever.
You're thousands of people out there, throngs of people. Give us your best input, and we'll do a segment based on what you guys give us. So let's do this.
That we will do. And you know what? If you like the video, share it with somebody. Hey, look what this, we got to get it out there, man. We want people to experience our content.
Yeah.
If we suck, then don't do it. That's fine. But if you like us, you know,
I mean,
share a video.
honestly, pass us along even if we suck.
And I'll say
You know
this.
what I mean? We could use the boost.
I watch all the shows, and they do not bring up half the stuff that we do. They don't get
true.
down to the nitty gritty and like little pickups, little waiver. They don't do what we do. We have some good advice, seriously.
Right? And they can't get the Grim Reaper on their shows. You know what I mean?
That is
we can.
true.
We can. We get those kind of guests. You're welcome.
You don't get the Reaper, you don't get Johnny Ballgame, and you don't get Sir Poops a lot.
For sure.
And you know what else? We invented PPR. You're welcome.
Yes, we did.
You don't need anything else. All you need to know, we invented it. You're using it. You're welcome. Watch the show. Pass us
Just
along.
for that, hit that like button.
Roll it on.
All right, guys.
Let's go.
I want to thank Johnny Ballgame.
Boom, boom, boom. Love it. Awesome show, Chuck. Thanks, buddy.
All right, and Snickers, Sir Poops a lot.
Thanks, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Tony, you're a trooper. We
You are,
appreciate
buddy.
you coming on the show, man.
Yeah,
You did
dude.
well. Thank you, guys. We'll see you again next week. And aloha.
Peace.